What's up, guys? I'm Lockjaw, joined by Virus, and we're going to be going over our top 5 questions regarding Super Mario Odyssey. These are going to be in no particular order. Just, if we were able to ask someone at Nintendo and get definitive answers, these would be our top 5 questions we would ask about the game. So we've seen the trailer. They showed the trailer at the Switch event, and there was a lot in it. And, there's a lot of questions that can be asked from what we saw. So, to get started here, I'm going to throw one out there. Do you think this game will be open world? Will it be open world like Breath of the Wild?
I don't know. Zelda, so far, we've been playing Breath of the Wild, they do it perfectly. It works really well in that open world style. I was looking forward to trying the game when I first heard about it because the open world aspect really did intrigue me.
Yeah.
And Mario games, I've always enjoyed that. Like in 64, you had a little bit of freedom to kind of roam the castle, but you were boxed in, basically. You were at the castle.
You had mini
back.
open world areas, in Sunshine Delfino. It was quite a big area, actually, but you still had to go to the different areas to get to your actual levels. So, from what it looks like, there's some pretty big areas that we can see from the trailer that they showed.
Yeah.
That leads you to believe maybe. But he also has that little hat plane, whatever you want to call it.
Transporter device.
Yeah. And you actually can see it in the trailer, in the distance in certain areas, quite a ways away. And I'm thinking maybe not quite open world like Zelda was, where it truly was you could get from the volcano area to the snow to the desert, and all those areas. But maybe you have little mini, 5 different areas. They're quite big, but not as big as the entire Breath of the Wild area. But there's sections of open
world
areas.
You have to transport to those large areas.
So they are big, kind of like Delfino, a bunch of different Delfinos.
Yeah, so they're not all necessarily connected, from just running from one to the other, but they'll be connected via the hat craft vehicle, whatever that is.
Yep.
Because I was going to say, when you look at the trailer, there are times where when you look, you're maybe these all could connect, but they are also vastly different.
Maybe the little hat transporter thing is just to get there quicker, kind of like in Zelda, where you can teleport to the towers and shrines. So who knows? That's why I'm saying that's why it's one of our questions, because we just don't know and we're curious about it. So.
Well, I will say that if it was open world, a true legit Zelda, a true open world, I'd love to see how they all connect, merging from the city
really
to
cool
the weird forest to the food area to the desert and stuff.
Yeah.
How do they all link? I'm leaning towards saying it's not. That's what I would say. I think it is going to be that kind of interconnected.
I think it's going to be little mini kind of open world areas. You see the big city. I think they're going to be really big areas, but I think they're going to be cut off into different sections. Yeah. And you can't run from the city to the forest or something. You have to transport there. But once you're there, it's going to be a pretty large area to explore. That's how I think it's going to go.
Yeah,
but
I was just going to say, I think each area, little sub area you could call it, I think it will be very expansive.
It looks like it. The city seems huge. Yeah.
Yeah. You look at the forest and just different areas. They look huge, and I think you're going to have a lot of places to explore and to really just have freedom. Yeah. But again, not that true open world. Like you said, like Zelda, it's all truly all connected. Not like that. Yeah. But that's my opinion on it.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to the next question we got. What is going to be the theme / story of the game? What we see in certain areas, in the Day of the Dead area, if you want to call it that, the ice. Yeah, and it kind of seems out of place a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it has a purpose. Also, and you were kind of pointing this out to me the other day about how almost everything is wearing a hat.
Yeah,
if you look around, the little rabbit enemies are wearing hats. Bowser's wearing a hat. The game seems to be centered around these hats. And obviously, we got the Crazy Cap, which we'll get into a little later. But for now, we're just kind of going over what might the story or theme, or what is going to be what is Bowser trying to pull off this time, right? I think that's really what the question is.
Yeah, you definitely see hats like a reoccurring theme of the game. Yeah. At this point, so watching the trailer, and again, I want to point out, we don't have a lot to go off of. This trailer was 2.5 minutes, give or take?
We got a little bit, remember, the footage from when they announced Switch for that trailer. Yeah. It's just a really brief amount of stuff from the game.
It's funny.
And then we got the full, actual trailer, the full reveal trailer.
Right.
So, there was actually some other gameplay that I saw the other day.
We've seen, I would say, probably less than 5 minutes altogether.
Not very much from Odyssey yet, and that's why we're doing this video.
Well, it's funny, like I said, just from, like I say, about 5 minutes, give or take, of in-game footage and story stuff, there's so many questions you get from that. It's funny how you give us a little and we can speculate for days.
Exactly.
And, that's what they want, of course. But yeah, about the theme of the story, again, hats look like they're going to play a big part, like we mentioned, the Crazy Cap, the big Hatmobile ship, whatever that is. But yeah, Bowser's wearing a hat. He throws it as well.
The little rabbit, like, what are those rabbit enemies? What role will they play? How do they tie into the story or the theme of the game? You know what I mean? Are they just henchmen, or are they something they're not even working with Bowser? I don't know.
I mean, just overall, as I say, like the appearance of all the different worlds, and I'm sure there's a lot more too. We've only seen like 4 or 5, maybe.
Yeah, there might be a lot more. Yeah, areas.
They're so vastly different. To see how this all ties together, I'm really looking forward to that. Like, I just feel like this is one I'm looking forward to just seeing how it plays out. Like,
the story of the game, exactly.
Like you mentioned, the ice in the desert, in the Day of the Dead type desert.
Also, how Mario's interacting with different things. He's kind of dancing, and he's doing the jump roping. It's like, maybe that's just like side missions or just side little things you can do. But
one thing that came to my mind about it, and I don't think this is where they're going with it, but it looks very like maybe he's dreaming. Like, very dream-like. I don't think they're going to go that route again like Mario 2. But, I mean, everything looks... Like again, it's cartoony.
I kind of see where you're going with that, yeah.
Like again, like the city, this is no spoiler, it's called New Donk City. So, like, Donkey Kong, you see a lot of Donkey Kong references in it. It's almost as if Donkey Kong won, like in the very first game, the Donkey Kong arcade game. And he owns a city, like maybe he's a bad guy. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's so much speculation.
Yeah, that's true. They are theming the city around Donkey Kong, it seems. Maybe not a bad guy, but maybe he's just in it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I mean, he could be. He could be a bad guy.
The people there seem happy, but it's weird. Like, the people look like they'd be from like the 1920s.
And they're normal people too.
Yeah.
And Mario's like this weird. No offense to Mario, but he looks different from the other people.
Doesn't it really give off like I want to see that car again, but it almost has like maybe a. I'm trying to think of the time period, 60s, 70s, maybe?
I kind of get what you're saying.
It's just weird, and again...
not really modern times, but kind of like, It
looks kind of older, but what I was going to say, too, is... how weird is it to see Mario, like, in the quote-unquote real world?
And interacting with people, like I said, like normal-looking people, where it's like when he's doing the jump roping and stuff, that's kind of odd as well.
Well, Mario's supposed to be humanoid, but definitely not like true human. He's very small, in comparison, and he's got human features.
We're not trying to judge Mario or anything. Just compared to the other people in the trailer, he's different.
This is one I will just say this regarding the story and stuff, that I'm looking more forward to this story of this game than I've looked forward to a story in a Mario game. Whenever I play a Mario game, like even when it comes to Sunshine, it was interesting, but I just wanted to play the new Mario game. This is like the same for me as well. I want to play this game, but I'm really intrigued by what is the story? How does this all connect? Why is Mario in this weird, like everybody's food, and you see the Hammer Bros like wearing a chef hat. Some weird stuff there.
Yeah, so anyway, I think we pretty much covered. I mean, we're just kind of speculating and throwing out our questions anyway. But yeah, that's going to be really interesting to see just where this is going, because it's really hard to tell. We could be completely wrong with our speculations of, well, the ice might play a role, and why, like you were saying, a dream, like we could be completely wrong there.
He did some weird drugs. Maybe. We'll just, Nintendo didn't go that route. No.
Maybe. I don't know.
The mushroom ate a bad mushroom. I don't know.
Yeah. But
let's
anyway,
move on from that.
Let's move on to our next question. So, and this was a pretty big one for me that I really want to know. Will the Switch's gimmicks play a big role in this game? And this is something where I'm not saying I want that to be the case or don't want it to be the case, but it is more just curious, like, are they going to just play it safe and say, you know what, just normal controls, it's Mario, go with it, or are they going to do, which I actually won't mind, and say, look, motion controls are going to play a role. The IR sensor, like where they're doing the whole eating, like maybe you'll do something in the game. The whole HD Rumble, maybe they're going to have like a hat and stuff in it and say, this is a little mini test. You got to tell us how many whatever are in the hat, and actually make those like big parts of the game. The whole gimmicks that the Switch can bring. Are they going to play a big role, or are they going to play it safe and say, you know what? We're going to just make it a normal game, normal controls, have fun with it, and we're not going to really take advantage of the Switch's gimmicks.
Well, I'm curious, and again, this is not necessarily a Switch gimmick, but it is something Nintendo's been incorporating into their games as of late. But what about amiibos? Like, you see that in like
true.
some of the what was that Zelda game? The
Twilight Princess.
No, the Warriors.
Oh, okay, Hyrule Warriors. Yeah.
And other games too, like they're just throwing them into like the Yoshi Woolly
and
World.
Usually they
Mario
don't play
Kart.
a big role, right?
Mario
and
Maker, it's pretty.
And that's
yeah.
I don't mind that because you do have to go out and purchase them. That'd be kind of odd to be buying these like extensions to the game in order to like beat levels, or they're usually just added bonuses.
Yeah.
And that would be fine too if they do that. But
the
other stuff
would
would be
how
like
all this stuff goes into it. But yeah, especially like you're saying the Switch's gimmicks. I'm looking forward to seeing a game that does take advantage of it. I'm kind of in like with you, like I'm not saying I want to see it, but I am intrigued by it. Like, what
I
could
won't
they
mind
do?
it though, because I've been saying, remember,
if it's done well,
exactly, and I've been saying that, remember, for all their games going forward, that don't be afraid of the Switch's gimmicks and the capabilities. You guys created this system.
They failed
Take
on.
advantage of it. Why create it if you're not going to use it? Right?
Well, look at the Wii U. Like that's what we said before. That when you look at the Wii U, Nintendo didn't embrace that. Like again, the Wii U gamepad stuff. It was kind of like always like an afterthought.
Like for any of their main games, they throw the stuff in there like motion controls, and you can do the whole steering in Mario Kart. But it really wasn't mandatory. And I'm almost thinking they might need to go that route of, in a main Mario game like this, make some of that stuff mandatory. Force you to use the HD Rumble. I think that would be pretty cool if, you get to a part where you can't pass until you tell them how many balls are in the hat or something.
Well, how did you feel about... I didn't play a lot of Mario Galaxy. That was one of the Mario games I really didn't play. I need to go back and try those 2 games. Again, there's 2 Galaxy games. But you played them. What did you feel, or how did you feel about the motion controls in it?
Yeah,
like,
I actually didn't mind it.
Or did it work?
Really, like I believe, like the only time you ever use it is when you did the little spin attack, and it was once again playing it extremely safe as far as motion controls go, because all you did, you just shook the Wiimote and then you spun. Yeah. That was it. That was like
did you have
the
to do
extent
that?
of it.
Was there a way
I don't
around
think
it?
there was any other way to do that attack, but it was so simple.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that was like the extent of it, of any gimmicks in that game, other than using the... I don't think you could use any other controls, but I used the Wiimote nunchuck anyway. I guess you couldn't if you had to do the spin. But that's pretty much all it was, and it really wasn't that big of a deal, and it was just like, well, whatever, They're just going to throw this in there just for the sake of throwing it in there.
Yeah, again, it's like they have the motion controls for Wii, and you saw it in some games, and then you have like the gamepad on Wii U. And it seems like Nintendo has all these big plans for their little extras and gimmicks and stuff they do for their systems, and then they themselves don't embrace them. It's like they're just putting them out there for like the third-party people, which like don't take advantage of them either.
If we want to use it or take advantage, it's there for us, but we're not going to. It's like they're too afraid to do it. And usually if they do have it, sometimes like in Mario Kart where it is just an option, that's all it is, just an option. Yeah. And I'm thinking... I wouldn't mind it if for Mario Odyssey if they require it in certain areas to use some of this stuff, I
could see them doing the motion control similar to like Galaxy, like just having it in there for certain moves, like maybe when you throw the hat out and you jump on it. I don't know. The IR sensor, that could be kind of
I could imagine when you throw the hat out like arms when you're punching. You throw it out like that. I could see that.
It could work, but also you got to keep in mind this is going to be a portable game as well, so they may not.
That's true. That's a really good point.
But I guess even portable, you could then set it down and like maybe make them as like a side mission,
that's
like you were saying, like a mini quests. Like your primary game you could play using a
maybe some things would only make it where you need one Joy-Con or something, but it is a little mini game challenge or something. I don't know. But that is a really good point.
Something I just want to throw in there too, and it kind of plays into this. But remember, like you were saying, in the initial, very first Switch trailer, that little like 3-minute trailer, the guy playing Zelda and just other small stuff, they did show Mario Odyssey for like a couple seconds. Remember, they showed that woman, she was playing it, and then she took it to a party and handed the controller to a friend. So
that's true. I did not even think of that at all. That is...
I forgot.
That could be a mini game
or a side quest, but that's something to
like
kind of keep in mind.
Multiplayer or just a little mini game type thing. Or that's a really good point. I did not think of that at all.
That's another question. Almost.
Yeah, that's another question. Well, what does that mean?
But I was going to say, like in closing about the stuff. I like your idea about the HD Rumble. That kind of stuff, again, that would be... I'm intrigued by it. I'm curious to see what they could do with it.
Yeah.
But I would say let's not take away from the core game if it comes to that. Like, I don't have any issue just doing a standard, straight-up Mario game, using your control, whether you're using Joy-Cons, Pro Controller, what have you. Because like you were saying, playing on the go, maybe you couldn't detach them and do motion stuff. But I don't know. Nintendo should embrace it at some point, though.
I really think they should. I mean, they've had these consoles and they've had their gimmicks, and for all like their main games, they just play it safe.
1-2 Switch is like the only game right now,
and that's even really. That's just like a bunch of mini games. You know, I mean, I want to see it for a Metroid, for a Mario, for a Zelda, for Star Fox. Like really, and I know they kind of did it with Star Fox Zero, but nobody liked that game, I guess. But anyway, the last thing I'll say is, you were saying it. If they do decide to go the route of gimmicks and take advantage of them, which I don't mind if they do, they're going to have to do it right and in a fun way and in a way that makes sense. So that's going to be the last thing I say on that. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to do it, do it right and make it fun and have it make sense.
Embrace it and kind of be proud of it, and just go for it.
Exactly.
See what people say about it. Don't just. It's like, well, here it is. It's here if you want it. It's like maybe don't bother then. Just scrap it then.
All right, so we've gone through 3 questions, I believe. Yeah, 3. Okay, so the next question I have is, and we were kind of going into it, like I said, but what is the Crazy Cat, which is the little hat that has eyes on his that he's wearing, and how does it work, and what does it do? I mean, what is the Crazy Cat? What role is it going to play? That kind of can go into our previous question about the theme and story, like what role is it going to play in the story? And just, what is it? What's it going to do? Are there going to be different variations of it? Yeah. Does it just act as a power-up? What is it?
Well, I was going to say, it looks to be, obviously, a main point of this game. Like I think you've compared it to, like, Flood. Flood and Sunshine. And I think that's probably the best way to
describe it.
And compare it to Flood, because you see Mario throwing it. It looks like it could be a projectile-based type of thing. You see him jump off of it, so it can kind of maybe.
He has it where it can like sit there in place. Yeah, and give him extra jumps. I'm sure it'll be used as an attack as well. I'm sure it's going to actually play.
What's interesting to me actually is like you'll see him running around. It's just a standard hat. It's got the M on it, normal Mario hat you're used to. And then there's times where you see him, or like I guess it's at the end of the trailer, but like the hat, the cap, I guess you want to call it,
the crazy cap.
Eyes. And so it's like, will it change? Will the eyes come out at times?
Well, here's my question, and this is like the really important question for me. Will it talk?
Oh.
Because that's really important for me, because it could be really annoying.
Did Flood talk?
Flood did talk.
Oh, it did? Okay.
And Flood, I don't know, I didn't find him too annoying. Maybe some people found him a little more annoying. He had kind of a weird voice, but I didn't find Flood that annoying. But yeah, if it talks, it's like, is it going to be annoying? Is it going to be non-stop talking? How's it going to sound? But I don't know.
I actually could see it. You don't see a mouth on it, but I could see it talking. Yeah.
Or will it just come up with text and just be like, you don't hear it talk, or maybe it makes little like sounds and stuff, and then you can see the text. I don't know.
Well, now something else that we both noticed. I was going to say too. This is like the first I've really thought a lot about this game. When I first saw it, I'm like, I'm looking forward to it. But the second I saw that it was coming out in holiday, I'm like, let me just wait closer to time. Like I don't want to get too invested in it. Well, I was just sad about it. I'm like, I don't want to get too invested in it because I'm going to be waiting for so long.
Yeah.
So when we discussed doing this video, I'm like, let me go back to the trailer. Let me just kind of dissect it. Let me go slow. Let me just take in some more of the stuff, which I will say has now got me hyped. So that's bad.
Yeah. But I made you go back and watch it so we could do this video.
Now I really want this game. Is it holiday time yet? But no, I was going to say, like, and I think you said you would notice it too, but a lot of these Crazy Cap locations, like, it looks almost like maybe you're going to go into like a shop or something, and like the one in
like swap them out maybe. Like I was saying, that's why I compared it to Flood. I'm thinking, remember you had the little crates
upgrades
for the different nozzles. Maybe your little Crazy Cap locations will be where you swap them out if you need something different.
Well, I was going to say, like, when you look at the one in the Day of the Dead stage, and I'm sure people have other names for it, but I think people know what we're talking about. The kind of
that's what I've
the desert type stage. One of the first ones we saw. But what I was going to say is, you see when you first go to the shop there, it's got like the little Crazy Cap logo on above the door. It looks like a normal shop actually, or a normal building, but above the door it says Crazy Cap and it's got the logo and all that. But then you see a little stand next to it, and it's got like 4 or 5 different hats. It's like a sombrero type hat, a football helmet.
Yeah.
Kind of an explorer type of a hat, like an archaeologist hat, I guess. I don't know if there's an official name for it. A top hat, and then your like ball cap, your baseball standard
And something
cap.
I want to point out really quick is you see in the logo of the Crazy Cap, the little picture of it, it is just like a normal, baseball cap. And it's not even a Mario cap. So that does really lead me to believe that there will be some other variations of it.
At least 5.
Game.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder, like, what are those variations going to do? They can't just be for looks. They've got to have some kind of something to them. Like we were speculating, the football helmet, maybe a charge
through walls.
Yeah,
I'm thinking maybe the
faster.
sombrero one, maybe it'll be a really big hat that he wears and he can maybe hide inside of it, possibly. And like sneak around in certain areas because it's just a hat, just moving. So it's like there's nothing suspicious there. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities.
So it just came to mind. So this is like again legit. Like we didn't really rehearse this one. We're just going off the top of our head. Asking. I mean, the questions we got, but the discussion is all, whatever. But I'll say maybe the Crazy Cap building is where you go to the big cap and travel to places. Think about the sombrero would be like the Day of the Dead one. The archaeologist one could be like the forest maybe, or the I don't know. I mean, who knows? Again, there's so much to speculate on here. But I'd actually rather see it like the power-ups, like we're saying. That kind of is more fun to me, to go in and like change out your cap and get a new power-up.
And I don't think they show a chef hat there, but I mean, they had like the AZBros wearing the chef hats. I'm like, I don't know what ability he'd get. The cooking ability like Link can do in Breath of the Wild. Maybe you can start cooking stuff. I don't know.
Well, I was going to say, too, because we're talking about the Crazy Cap and the role it will play, and this is kind of like a sub-question to this, not an actual other, not one of our top 5 questions, but like a sub-question. Do you think there's going to be other power-ups, like old-school Mario power-ups, such as Fire Flowers or the Star or whatever, even some of the newer games like the Flying Cap in 64, or do you think the Crazy Cap is going to be that primary power-up of the game?
I don't know. I mean, I could see it. I mean, maybe they might bring back, like the flying cap from Mario 64, the pedal cap. I mean, that'd actually fit in really well. But yeah, as far as like actual like a fire flower instead of a hat, I mean, I don't know.
Who knows, right?
Yeah, who knows? But I mean, I guess I don't think they will, because I want to say that the hats are going to be the main focal point.
And that's how they've done it before, right? Like
Mario
64 didn't have fire flowers.
No, but like
Sunshine...
Galaxy did, and Sunshine didn't.
Okay.
But like Galaxy did have fire flowers and ice flowers and stuff. And also, I mean, like mounts, they have that one mount he's riding. Like those are kind of, I guess, I wouldn't consider them power ups. I just consider them mounts. But
remember it says like taxi, and it shows like a little lion.
Yeah, that's like another question, right?
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot more. These are our top 5. But I don't know. I think that.
Well, no, we still got one more to get to.
Well, yeah. I think we pretty much wrapped up.
For this one, I think
cap.
we. And once again, I just want to throw it out there, just in case if you missed it in the beginning. These are in no particular order.
Yeah.
We did not list these in a way where we're like, well, these are, from 5 to 1. This is like the most important question we want to ask. This is not in any particular order. Maybe at the end we'll throw out the one where we want to know most or something. But anyway, our last question is, and this is a big one. This is one I've really been wanting to know, and it might be a little bit more obvious now. But is this game going to feature stars? Is it going to feature flagpoles? Or something...
Basically, how are you going to end the level, right?
Yeah, or something completely new in order for your end goal in, like, a particular area. Yeah. So yeah, is it going to be like Mario 64 where you have stars, or is it going to be like 3D World where you grab the flagpole to end the stage?
Like, for me personally, I like the way they did in 64 and Sunshine, where you got the stars or the shines, some kind of an end goal that you're looking for that... You're basically going to collect it. You're going to collect your star at the end.
And I liked it too, where you could see different stars in different areas. You see a big boss, you got to beat it to get it, as opposed to just it's a flagpole every time.
Right.
Or like I said, could it be something completely brand new? We see the little collectibles, the little purple, like in one of the levels, it looked like bolts or something, or little or something. And then there were little triangles in that Day of the Dead.
Well, I actually saw another one,
but they were all purple, and they all looked like they might be the same kind of collectible thing. Just they vary depending on where you're at, maybe.
Well, I was going to say, because again, we're discussing this, and we actually have a looping video of the trailer going. It'll probably be in the final video you guys are watching right now, but we're just watching it for reference, just to kind of have something to look at.
Yeah.
But I did actually notice the coins in 2 other places. I did see the purple coins in the forest, and the food area, whatever the food.
Oh, I think I did see them there too. Yeah, but very, very briefly, right? I think,
really
they just really quickly showed it. Yeah.
They did look different, but I also see them in the city too. They're like up on a balcony, and they look round. So there's going to be like, I don't know if we're going to confirm it, but There are definitely different variations.
But could they be just a collectible, maybe, or could they be the actual like? You just collect so many. Like maybe you get to an area. Here's my theory. Like you'll get to the city area, right?
Yeah.
And then it says, look, in each one of these areas you have 500 to collect. That's all you do. When you get so many, you go to a different area. Kind of like the jiggies in a Banjo, I guess, a little bit. To where there is no like definitive end goal, but just a humongous city to explore.
Just something to look
They're
for.
all over the place, and then you just have to go. Maybe some people will have little challenges to get some. But also, I want to point out, I see them there. They almost look like
just a balcony or something. They look round.
Anyway, I do want to also point out really quick that there are, it does look like normal coins. I didn't see that before. But there are normal coins in this game as well. They do show normal,
I was going to say that
just
too.
the typical Mario coin as well.
Which is really strange, because like,
featured in this game.
If you're going to see the plain yellow coins, and then you see purple coins and triangles.
And it's weird that they change. Like I said, they vary from where it seems that way.
Yeah.
Like they're the triangles in the Day of the Dead, but they're all purple. I saw some more there, but I think they were just more triangles, right?
Yeah, it's like, what?
Sorry, once again, we're watching the trailer, so...
Yeah, we'll have it looping most likely in this discussion as well. I don't know if it's going to sync up with what we're talking about, but you watch for a couple minutes, you'll see it eventually, or you can rewind.
And another thing, maybe it will be the whole, like... Similar to stars, remember how they had shines in Sunshine? Maybe it's just going to be an alternative to a star, but it's the same thing, right? Like you grab it, you end an area, whatever.
Well, you know what's interesting too, and again, like I said, I haven't thought a whole lot about it, so as I'm watching the trailer and as we're talking, I'm kind of thinking of stuff. But you do notice that like the Crazy Cap locations, the logos, those are purple. The same purple as these
Maybe you
collectibles.
Have to purchase them, right?
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
Maybe that's all they are. Yeah.
Would they
Currency.
correlate to the caps? Because like the triangle one maybe is like I don't know. I have no idea, but
yeah, you're right.
It does make you wonder
I see
how
what
they
you're
connect.
saying. So maybe you got to get so many triangle ones to get a specific cat, right?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean,
it makes sense. I mean, yeah.
It's just funny how Nintendo leaves in enough stuff for us to really wonder and to speculate.
And like you said, what was it, like
answers.
a couple minutes for the actual trailer? I mean, like
2.5, 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a very long trailer at all, but...
Well, and something else, too, really quick, that I was just going to say because I was noticing it and we talked about it, but when you see the little Hatmobile, whatever you want to call it, hat ship... It looks like gas or something, like some kind of liquid on top, maybe something you fill it up. I thought maybe it was purple, but as I'm watching the trailer, it's actually yellow, so I don't know. I have no idea what to make of that.
Yeah, I mean, there really is, like you were saying, I mean, just from a short trailer, we have, there's tons more questions. But real quick, we're going to wrap this up, but I just want to ask, like I said we were going to do, really quickly, if you just had one of these questions that you could get the answer to, which one would you ask out of the ones we listed?
It's kind of a tie between the Crazy Cap and how it works and the theme and story, but I'm leaning towards story. Like I said, I'm really rarely am I intrigued by a Mario story, and I will say regarding the story, little disappointed to see Bowser as the main antagonist.
Well, he may not be though. We don't know. He is in it, but we don't know.
Yeah, we're not sure what his role is, but to see him, and I was kind of hoping for somebody different. But regardless, the overall story, like how do all these worlds connect? What's the meaning of the ice in the desert area? All that kind of stuff.
The moon really stands out in certain areas too. It probably doesn't have any role to play unless if Mario goes to the moon at some point.
Which would be
predicting it right now.
You're calling it. Well, yeah, seeing the moon. I mean, there's like these weird like shining beacons or beacons of light.
True.
You see that? We're just saying like, could that be the end? Could that be like the
or is it just extra stuff? I mean, it could have nothing to do with the story at all.
But yeah, there's so much for me that I don't know about the story that's probably what That's probably the one I'm most curious about.
Yeah, so for me, the question I would ask is, will the Switch gimmicks play a big role? That would be the question I would ask if I could get the answer, because I've really been big on that since the Switch's launch, and I've been telling you just nonstop that I really want to see them embrace their gimmicks, and even for big games like a big Mario game, like the main series Mario game, they need to embrace it. And they need to make it work, and they need to have it make sense and be fun to actually use in the game. And so that would be the question I would ask: is, are you playing it safe again, or and not using gimmicks, or are you going to actually use what the Switch is capable of and the gimmicks that you guys created?
This is like a way. This is a way to showcase it, right?
Exactly.
To really put it out,
and for a main Mario game, to get people who are going to play it. I mean, it's Mario. People are going to get it, and to test them out and see, and especially if they're fun, that's even better. And they work well. But so that's that would be the one that I would ask. But But anyway, yeah, like I said, we're going to wrap it up. Yeah, I mean, those are our top 5 questions that we would ask. We want to hear from you guys. I mean, if you agree, like if some of these questions are ones that you would also like to ask, or if you have
we'll answer
other
them
questions,
too. You know, maybe give your answers too.
Yeah, you can speculate on the questions we had. You can, you know, in the comment section, leave the questions you have if they differ from what we had.
We might do a
we might do a part 2. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, please, you know, leave any of that in the comment section. We want to hear from you guys, as always. We always do. You know, we want to hear what your questions are for Mario Odyssey. So please leave those in the comment section below. Also, you know, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It does help us out a lot. We would really appreciate it. And also, if you want to see more from the AZBros, go ahead and subscribe and check out our other videos. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's going to do it. So we'll see you next time.
Yeah, later, guys.